boy, it's Rina Lunette. Infinium slumbering, sleepy, idle. Are you guys ready for bedtime stories? Are you getting snug in your beds, your little bunk beds? How is everyone today? Oh, how am I? I'm doing very good today. Doing very good. We finally finished decorating the dreamscape with Christmas decorations. Let me give you a little head back first, since you all showed up. So, yes, 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 yes. You're all bundled up in your blankets. Good, good. Yeah, I'm frozen today. It's just easier for me to read and to get, if I'm doing any triggers, to get them ready. The full experience. So yes, I am a frozen owl today, but that's okay because we're in the dreamscape. Anything can happen. Isn't that right? So you all are bundled up in your beds, right? Got your favorite blankies, your beds, your pillows ready. Got your plushies all set up. We have about 7 stories today. Some that were suggested and some that I found that are very classic over on the SVP Minecraft server. I was watching a little bit of that from Yui's POV. Oh, they're having a time. They're having a time. I hope the servers get fixed, because I definitely want to hop in there. Even though for me, Minecraft is a horror game, but not positive horror game. Oh, it's 10 a.m. But you know what? There's always time for nap time. Don't you want to go to Dreamland? But there's a few things I like to do for ASMR before I read everything. That I usually like to hydrate after every story. Oh god, that was loud, so sorry. Sadly, our water filter thing is broken, so I only have a bottle of water. I do that. I guess that one's more satisfying. I also like to make sure I have chapstick and some lip oil here, because gotta stay hydrated. So let's put on the chapstick first. And next is the lip oil. He'll be well hydrated, yes. Adora, 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 Adora. That's my sister. Oh my gosh. Tokaku, toka toka, toka 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 toka. She's so hydrated queen. I hope you guys I hope your stream was well, Toka. So you're playing one of my favorite games, Little Goody Two Shoes. Who are you after, by the way? Yes, please fall asleep. We are about to read some bedtime stories, so I want to make you guys super cozy and fall asleep in your little beds and bunk beds. posted. For some that were posted as well, I will be saving those for maybe a future stream. There was a few spoopy stories, some holiday ones. So Freya, that's it. That's her, Freya. Freya, love of my life. Freya, my beloved. I'm so sorry I forgot your name. But for some stories that were posted, some will be for a more spoopy story stream, and some will be for a Christmas stream, so yes. I don't want to spoil that. You'll have to watch to see if I read it, because I can't give away spoilers. That was, yeah. The first story we will read was suggested, called The Proud Rose, and let me fix the screen because dark mode on this page does not work. Okay. So it's called The Proud Rose, and oh my god, I hate the illustration for this, it's so weird. Okay, but anyway, get cozy in your beds. Get cozy, and get ready. Okay. Once upon a time, there lived a proud rose that was incredibly proud of her beautiful looks. The only disappointment was that it grew beside an ugly cactus. Oh, prickly cactus. Every next day, the rose would be ready with an insult that it would pour upon the poor cactus for its looks. The cactus would remain quiet, no matter how hard every other plant in the garden tried to make the rose show some senses, but she was too swayed by her good looks. One fine day, a pine tree near the blossomed rose said that it wished it was as beautiful as a flower, and hoped that it could be so lovely one fine day. Another tree said to the pine that there was no need to be sad, as we did not have everything. Hearing the conversations, the rose replied to the trees and said that it seemed like she was the most beautiful flower in the forest. Sunflower raised its yellow head and asked, "Why do you say that? In this forest, there are many beautiful flowers, and you are just one of them." The rose replied that it saw everyone looking at him and admiring her. The next moment, the rose added her cunning wit by humiliating the cactus beside it and calling it ugly and full of thorns. The tree quickly replied that it was a shameful talk by the rose, as no one could decide what beauty was, and the rose itself had so many thorns. Once again, it's also prickly. As the day passed, the rose would look at the cactus and say insulting things, but the cactus never got upset, and even advised the rose that God did not create any form of life without a purpose. Spring passed, and the weather became hot. Life became severe in the forest as there was no rain for a very long time. The rose began to wilt. One day, the rose saw a sparrow stick its beak into the cactus and fly away. The rose was amazed by this and asked the pine tree what the birds were doing. The pine tree replied that the birds were getting water from the cactus, which was hurting the cactus by the holes they made inside it. But it could not see the birds suffer, and thus it was helping them. The red rose felt too ashamed to ask the cactus for water, but finally it did ask for help, and the cactus kindly agreed. birds filled their beaks with water and watered the rose's roots. The end. And that was our first story. So, lesson, don't be mean. They did say what is. I mean, there was a lot of points with this story. Yeah, they were feeding the rose. You love the water. Technically, if I'm being truthful right now, because my water is in a water bottle, I'm currently using a soju bottle. Hey, whatever works, right? Okay, let's see, what should be the next story? How about... Hold up. What could I be reading? What could it be? What could it be? Could it be possibly Little Red Riding Hood? We love a Brothers Grimm story here. But this is the more condensed one. Alright, now let me actually hydrate, so. Alright. You guys ready for the next story? A jacket just teleported on Rina. It's okay. It's the dreamscape. Anything can happen. It's the dreamscape. I can read with my mouth closed, and I don't ever have to blink. Sometimes my cake just appears. Sometimes it doesn't. Alright, but are you ready for the next story? Right. Oh, this one doesn't want to go dark mode either. Oh. Okay, well, it's fine. It's fine. Alright, let me just zoom in on this page then. Okay. Yes. Good. Good. Alright. Once upon a time, there was a dear little girl who was loved by everyone who looked at her, but most of all by her grandmother. And there was nothing that she would not have given to the child. Once she gave her a little cape of red velvet, which suited her so well that she would never wear anything else. So she was always called Little Red Riding Hood. One day, her mother said to her, "Come, Little Red Riding Hood. Here is a piece of cake and a bottle of wine. Take them to your grandmother. She is ill and weak, and they will do her good." Damn, that's a good combo. Cake and wine. Oh my god, that is a great combo. So set out before it gets hot, and when you are going, walk quietly and nicely, and do not run off the path, or you may fall and break the bottle, and then your grandmother will get nothing. And when you go into her room, don't forget to say good morning, and don't peep into every corner before you do it. I will take great care, said Little Red Riding Hood to her mother, and gave her hand on it. The grandmother lived out in the woods, half a league from the village. Just as Little Red Riding Hood entered the woods, a wolf met her. Little Red Riding Hood did not know what a wicked creature he was, and was not at all afraid of him. "Good day, Little Red Riding Hood," he said. "Whither away so early, Little Red Riding Hood?" "To my grandmother's." "What have you got in your apron?" Cake and wine. Yesterday was baking day, so poor sick grandmother is to have something good to make her stronger." "Where does your grandmother live, Little Red Riding Hood?" "A good quarter of a league farther on in the woods. Her house stands under the 3 large oak trees, just below. You surely must know it," replied Little Red Riding Hood. "Awoo." "Awoo." The wolf thought to himself, "What a tender young creature. What a nice plump mouthful. She'll be better to eat than the old woman. I must act craftily so as to catch both." So he walked for a short time by the side of Little Red Riding Hood, and then he said, "See, Little Red Riding Hood, how pretty the flowers are here. Why don't you not look around? I believe, too, that you do not hear how sweetly the birds are singing. You walk gravely as you are going to school, while everything else out in the woods is merry." Little Red Riding Hood raised her eyes, and when she saw the sunbeams dancing here and there through the trees, and pretty flowers growing everywhere, she thought, "Suppose I take grandmother a fresh..." No, what flower is that? Okay, I'm reading how I don't know if this is how it's pronounced, but we're gonna go for it. Nosegay. Is that how it's pronounced? Nosegay? Yeah, this is what I wanted to say on my first ASMR stream. Who knows, maybe it could be. I've never heard of that flower before. That would please her too. It is so early in the day that I shall still get there in good time. So she ran from the path in the wood to look for flowers. Whenever she had picked one, she fancied that she saw a still prettier one further on and ran after it, and so got deeper and deeper into the woods. Meanwhile, the wolf ran straight to the grandmother's house and knocked at the door. "Who is there?" "Little Red Riding Hood," replied the wolf. "She is bringing cake and wine. Open the door." "Lift the latch," called the grandmother. "I am too weak and cannot get up from here." The wolf lifted the latch and the door sprang open, and without saying a word, he went straight to the grandmother's bed and devoured her. Then he put on her clothes and dressed himself in her cape, laid himself in the bed, and drew the curtains. Little Red Riding Hood, however, been running about picking flowers. And when she had gathered so many that she could carry no more, she remembered her grandmother and set out on her way to her. She was surprised to find the cottage doors standing open, and when she went into the room, she had a strange feeling that she said to herself, "Oh dear, how uneasy I feel today, and at other times I like being with grandmother so much." She called out, "Good morning," she said, but received no answer. So she went to the bed and drew back the curtains. There lay her grandmother with her cap pulled far over her face and looking strangely. "Oh, grandmother," she said, "what big ears you have." "All the better to hear you with, my child," was the reply. "But grandmother, what big eyes you have," she said. "The better to see you with, my dear." "But grandmother, what large hands you have." "The better to hug you with." "Oh, but grandmother, what a terrible big mouth you have." "All the better to eat you with." And scarcely had the wolf said this, than with one bound he was out of bed and swallowed up Little Red Riding Hood. When the wolf had appeased his appetite, he laid down again in the bed, fell asleep, and began to snore very loud. The honk shoes, oh my gosh, he's honk shoeing. The huntsman was just passing the house and thought to himself, "Oh, the old woman is snoring. I might just see if she wants anything." So he went into the room, and when he came to the bed, he saw the wolf was laying in it. "Do I find you here, you old sinner?" he said. "I have long sought you." And just as he was going to fire at him, it occurred to him that the wolf might have devoured the grandmother, and that she still might be saved. So he did not fire, but took a pair of scissors and began to cut open the stomach of the sleeping wolf. When he had made 2 snips, I don't have scissors, so I'm going to have to imitate. He saw the Little Red Riding Hood shining. Then he made 2 more snips. And the girl sprang out crying, "Oh, how frightened I have been! How dark it was inside the wolf!" And after the aged grandmother came out alive also, but scarcely able to breathe. Little Red Riding Hood, however, quickly fetched great stones with which they filled the wolf's belly, and when he awoke, he wanted to run away. But the stones were so heavy that he collapsed at once and fell dead. Then all 3 were delighted. The huntsman drew up the wolf's skin and went home with it. The grandmother ate the cake and drank the wine which Little Red Riding Hood had brought and revived. But Little Red Riding Hood thought to herself, "As long as I live, I will never by myself leave the path to run away, leave my mother. My mother has forbidden me from doing so." It is also related that once when Little Red Riding Hood was again taking cakes to the old grandmother, another wolf spoke to her and tried to entice her from the path. Little Red Riding Hood, why can I not say her name? Little Red Riding Hood, however, was on her guard and went straight forward on her path and told her grandmother that she had met the wolf. And when he had said good morning to her, but with such a wicked look in his eye, that if they had not been on the public road, she was certain that he would have eaten her up. Well, said the grandmother, we'll shut the door, and he may not come in. Soon after, the wolf knocked and cried, "Open the door, grandmother. I am Little Red Riding Hood, and I am here to bring you some cake." But they did not speak or open the door, so the gray beard stole twice or thrice round the house, and at last jumped on the roof, intertwining to wait until Little Red Riding Hood went home in the evening, and then to steal after her and devour her in the night. But the grandmother saw what was in his thoughts. In front of the house was a great stone trough. So she said to the child, "Take the pail, Little Red Riding Hood. I made some sausages yesterday, so carry the water in which I boiled them into the trough." Little Red Riding Hood carried the great trough that was quite full. Then the smell of sausages reached the wolf, and he sniffed and peeped down, and at the last stretch of his neck, so far that he could no longer keep his footing and began to slip, and slipped down from the roof straight from the great trough and drowned. But Little Red Riding Hood went joyously home, and no one ever did anything to harm her again. Damn. The end. We gotta love a Brothers Grimm story. We gotta love the classics. Damn. Just so tenderly filling it up with rocks and then just letting him wake up to it, get up, die, and they skin him and all that. We do love a classic. Moral of the story: chew your food or it will be replaced with rocks. True. I think, yeah, that is absolutely 100% the moral of the story. I agree with that. Always chew your food. But I mean, I'm an owl, so I just, I kind of just, owl pellets. Owl pellet ASMR. Oh my god. I shouldn't throw that idea around. You would have loved for the originals. We might do the more original ones another time. Laying down. Good, fall asleep. This is why it's bedtime stories. You gotta get cozy in your little bed, get your favorite plush, and drift off to dreamland. Does an owl have teeth? That I do not know. I don't think they do. Rocks are yummy though. Well, then heed the warning of the story, because you might fall and die, and then they will skin you and then use your meat for food, and then so keep that in mind when you eat rocks. Alright, so we're gonna switch over to another story submission, but this one wasn't a story. Someone wanted me to read lyrics by Chris DeBar, The Girl with April in Her Eyes. So yes, we'll be reading this next. Let me hydrate. Oh my god, the cap. that's one thing I definitely want to do for some of the ASMR streams is just pick some of the stories you guys submitted, and I really like the one that you did. So for future bedtime stories, it'll be a mix of, or it might, sometimes will be just stories I pick, but I would like to mix in some stories that you all sent. So whenever we have one of those coming up, I'll make sure to post in the community tab, or you can reply on a Twitter post or in our community Discord. Alright, so here we go. The Girl with April in Her Eyes. I've never heard of this song before, but the lyrics are, well, they're tragic, but they're beautiful at the same time. Like, it's a beautiful poem, but it's, ooh, okay. There was once a king who called for the spring, where his world was still covered in snow. But the spring had not been, for he was wicked and mean. In his winter fields nothing would grow. And when a traveler called, seeking help at the door, only food and a bed for the night, he gave his slave to turn her away, and the girl with April in her eyes. Wait, the girl with April in her eyes. Oh, 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 on and on she goes, through the winter's night, the wild wind and the snow. High, high, high. On and on she rides. Someone help the girl with April eyes. She rode through the night till she came to the light of a humble man's home in the woods. He brought her inside by the gentle firelight. She died. He buried her gently and good. Oh, the morning was bright. All the world was snow white. But when he came to the place where she lay, his field was ablaze with flowers on her grave, of the girl with April in her eyes. Oh, 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 and on she goes, through the winter's night, in the wind, wild wind in the snow. High, 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 on and on she flies. She's gone, the girl with April in her eyes. Oh, I am not AFK. I just currently am. It's the dreamscape, so anything can happen. Right now, it's just easier for me to read, unblinking and mouth not moving. A perfect mime, Oh, thank you. I know I messed up a little bit, so I hope I can redo it in the future and, give it more justice. Dream magic, exactly. That's exactly what it is. Anything can happen in a dream. Rina's staring contest, go. Just see how long you can stare at me without blinking your eyes. It's been fun so far. Thank you. I'm glad you guys are enjoying it. Okay, so I accidentally closed one of the tabs. Give me 1 second. Okay, tapping, right? Keyboard ASMR, let's go. story we are reading is The Three Little Pigs. So another old tale, which seems familiar, and it also has a wolf in it. Is this maybe it's totally coincidental, but Nana? Is Nana appearing in all these stories? Oh, it's okay. No, dear, because I want to listen to you, but you're making me fall asleep. It's lovely. No, good, because this is bedtime stories. You need to have the hung shoes. You need to... Alright, before I read this one, it is time for me to put back on some lip balm and my lip oil again. They really loved wolves back then. Furries. I can't be talking. Yeah, I can't say much for myself. Alright. And my chapstick. Not chapstick, lip oil. Which I probably dropped on the floor, but that's okay because I have another one here. Oh, here likes mouth pops. Sounds like cracking knuckles. Do you want to hear cracking knuckles? That was my neck. Crunchy owl. Crunchy owl. And you guys get to hear the crunchiness very clearly in ASMR. The last one was my neck, yeah. I don't know if I can get to do it again. Knuckle sandwich ready. Get ready, but if you don't go to bed after this, you get a knuckle sandwich. Snack, crackle, pop. Owl edition. She's getting ready to throw hands. I could, yeah. Who knows? Who knows? Yeah, so that's one ASMR trigger I guess you can expect for all streams is just crunchy bones. Crunchy bone ASMR. Actually, I'm wearing my shirt today that is actually quite accurate. It says squishy bones. Yeah, bone ASMR. Concussive force is a great sleep aid. Okay, so for those of you who are getting out of bed and running in circles and bouncing off the walls, having your zoomy time while I read my ASMR stories, get ready to get punched. My only regret is that I have bone I'm glad you guys are enjoying this, though. I'm having a great time. I have plenty ASMR streams planned, so, and I'm glad that it is making you guys happy. I'm a mirror. Alright. can't knock me out if I knock myself out. Yeah. So, sleep. Free punches. Woohoo. ASMR, the owl bird fights you to the death. And I just, okay, alright, I'll do a little bit, okay. I know we're doing a bedtime story, but I'm gonna make this really quick. Wait, that didn't sound right. Oh, you're not sleeping. You're not reading my bedtime stories. You got zoomies? Get over here. I'm gonna smack you over the head. Owl Tyson. The bedtime stories won't knock you out. The punches will. Oh no, not my boxing arc. Oh gosh, maybe. I would love to do one of those, like the WWE things, streams in the future. Those just are always so fun to watch. Alright, but we're on to the next story. Because I need you guys to get to sleep. Okay, so the three little pigs. We got another good... Okay, but this isn't the original Three Little Pigs. It's an adaptation retold by Flora Annie Steele. God, there's a train. Hold up, there's a train. Train ASMR. We're getting on a train. Chugga 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 toot toot. Chugga 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 choo choo. Okay, I think it passed. Alright. Once upon a time, there was an old mother pig who had 3 little pigs, but not enough food to feed them. When they were old enough, she sent them out into the world to seek their fortunes. It's the Polar Express. Thomas? Could be both. The first little pig was very lazy. He didn't want to work at all, so he built his house out of straw. The second little pig worked a little bit harder, but he was somewhat lazy too, and he built his house out of sticks. Then they sang and danced and played together for the rest of the day. The third pig worked hard all day and built his house out of bricks. It was a sturdy house, complete with a fine fireplace and chimney. It looked like it could withstand the strongest winds. Subtle foreshadowing, subtle foreshadowing, subtle foreshadowing. The next day, a wolf happened to pass by the lane where the 3 little pigs lived. He saw the house, the straw house, and he smelled the pig inside. He thought the pig would make a mighty fine meal, and his mouth began to water. So he knocked on the door and said, little pig, let me in, let me in." But the pig saw the wolf's big paws through the keyhole and answered back, "No, no, no, not by the hairs on my chinny chin chin." Then the wolf showed his teeth and said, "Then I'll huff, and I'll puff, and I'll blow your house down." He then huffed, and he puffed, and he blew the house down. Ow, ow. first little pig escaped and ran away to hide with the second little pig. The wolf continued down the lane, and he passed by the second house made of sticks. When he saw the house, and he smelled the pigs inside, and his mouth began to water as he thought about the fine dinner that they would make. So he knocked on the door. Little pigs, let me in, let me in. But the little pigs saw that the wolf's pointy ears through the keyhole, so they answered back, "No, no, no, not by the hairs on our chinny chin chin." So the wolf showed his teeth and said, "Then I'll huff, and I'll puff, and I'll blow your house down." So he huffed, and he puffed, and he blew the house down. Here we go again. Please ignore the Polar Express passing by. Nana needs to fire her PR team and get a new one. Honestly, it would have been better for the wolf to just burn the straw house. But you know what? You got a point. Out of all things, he probably bought a freaking keyhole and then just stuffed it in a haystack and Looney Tunes logic. Alright, I think maybe it finally passed. I said it before, but we'll see. The wolf was greedy, and he tried to catch the pigs at once. But he was too greedy, and got neither. His big jaws clamped down on nothing but air, and the two little pigs scrambled away as fast as they could, as their little hooves could carry them. The wolf chased them down the lane, and he almost caught them. But they made it to the brick house and slammed the door closed before the wolf could catch them. The three little pigs, they were very frightened. They knew the wolf wanted to eat them. And that was very, very true. The wolf hadn't eaten all day, and he had worked up a large appetite, chasing the pigs around, so now he could smell all three of them inside, and he knew that the three pigs would be a lovely feast. So the wolf knocked on the door. Little pigs, let me in." The pigs saw the wolf's narrow eyes through the keyhole, so they answered back, "No, no, no, not by the hairs on our chinny chin chin." So the wolf showed his teeth and said, "Then I'll huff, and I'll puff, and I'll blow your house down." The freaking train. I really think maybe the Polar Express is trying to get me to go out there. It could be the Infinity Train, though. That would have been cool. Well, he huffed and he puffed. He huffed and he puffed. Ow, 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 and he huffed and he huffed and he puffed. Ow, and he puffed. Ow. But he could not blow down the house. At last, so out of breath that he couldn't huff and he couldn't puff anymore. The woos have stopped, so he stopped to rest and thought for a bit. But this was too much. The wolf danced with rage and swore he would come down the chimney and eat the little pigs for dinner. And while he was climbing onto the roof, the little pig made up a blazing hot fire. Oh my god. A blazing hot fire, and put on a big pot of boiling water. Then, just as the wolf was coming down the chimney, the little piggy put the lid on and plop. In fell the wolf into a scalding water. Wait, no, I can use the big bowl for this. There we go. That was the plop. So the little piggy put on the cover again, boiled the wolf up, and the 3 little pigs ate him for dinner. Oh my god. The end. Man, wolves are just having bad luck in these stories. I'm so sorry, Nana, for reading these tales. Wolf stew, tasty. Hopefully you're doing well and having a wonderful evening tonight. I am doing well, and I hope you are also having a good day or night. The best way to destroy your enemies, to make them a friend. Wolf gonna get cooked. Wolf got cooked. Unable to blow the house down, the wolf had to go to the HOA and have pigs fined for the wrong colored door. The pigs are cannibals. I mean, don't like pigs. I mean, they're not cannibals. They aren't eating pigs. They ate the wolf. And I believe pigs do eat meat? Do they? Okay, get ready for some more keyboard ASMR. Do pigs why when I oh god, right, the first result before I could finish typing was, do pigs eat humans? Yeah, they can live on anything. So, fun fact for you guys, pigs can eat on anything, even human. Yeah. So, you better watch out. 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 Yeah, I wouldn't doubt them for eating bacon. I wonder, off topic, who here has seen it's my obscure, okay, this is my obscure show thing, okay, or it's on YouTube and it's called, was it Porking Through America? Let me see. I think it's Porking Across America. Yes, Porking Across America. Wama wama. Perry, 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 Perry. Perry, 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 Perry. I love you, Perry. This is me petting the worm. And this is me giving the worm a little forehead kiss. A little chew. Wama, 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 wama. I saw that the server in Minecraft kept going up and down, up and down, up and down. How was the rest of your stream? I only got to catch a little bit of it, but I hope it still went well. I wanted to join, but maybe next time. But also, I mentioned I'm terrified of Minecraft. I can play horror games, but Minecraft is like true horror. It was very fun. I just dug up dirt, mostly real, because that's what I do. I just keep digging. I'm glad it was fun. I'm glad you had a good time. I hope everyone else had a fun time as well. Wamu wamu. Wamu wamu ASMR. Wamu wamu. Wamu wamu. Wamu wamu. Wamu wamu. Wamu wamu. Weirdness is a scary thing. Oh. I've actually never encountered the warden. I think I fear him. I fear everything in that. Alright, so the next story is another submission called The Ransom of Miss Coraline Connelly. And I honestly thought this was a very fun story. And then after that we have 2 more stories. So make sure you're all wrapped up in your blankets. You got your favorite plush that you're just snuggling up to. I have my shadow hedgehog, Build-A-Bear plushie right next to me. He's got his snooze mask on. Actually, wait, I can take this off, so. Wait, hold up. There we go. I didn't realize I had it on so much. Oh, you love this vibe. Thank you. Berry love. Alright, so this next story is by Alex E. Haro. Alright. And it's done in the format of letters, so I'll do my best. To the parents or guardians of Miss Coraline Connelly. Right now, you're thinking, where is she? Because this is what every parent thinks when they find an empty crib and a raven with a scroll in its beak. Rina huffed and she puffed and she blew her cloak away. I did a little ow or Mersoy. Hoot 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 hoot. Alright, I'll restart that since I saw that comment and I had to reply. To the parents or guardians of Miss Coraline Connelly. Right now you're thinking, where is she? Because this is what every parent thinks when they find an empty crib and a raven with a scroll in its beak. I have stolen enough children to know. Your question is easily answered, Miss Connelly. She is cuddling through the obsidian halls of my palace in the world below like a misplaced sunbeam, all golden curls and freckles, pestering the troll guard and chattering with the ravens. She is in no distress. I assure you, beyond a few requests for a gentleman named Daniel Tiger. Now you're thinking, how do I get her back? Well, you're in luck. Simply read my name 3 times into any mirror or other reflective surface, and I will return her to you for the extremely reasonable 5 of 9 years of your life. Should you fail to fulfill the terms of this contract within the next 7 moonsets, she will remain forever in my keepsake. In cordial expectation of your call, Queen Jareb III, Empress of the Black Realm. Next letter. Dear Madam, I am concerned that you did not receive my previous missive, although my raven reports that you took the letter and appeared to read it. He said afterwards your eyes were empty and dark and dry as well, and as dry wells, that you stared for a long time at the rumpled sheets where your child had so recently slept, or not slept, when I arrived at the stroke of midnight on the equinox, when the price for passing without invitation is most affordable. I found her as wide-eyed and wakeful as a lightning-struck pixie. She has shown no signs of weariness yet. Most parents respond with rather more fright to my terms, and I must say, I wonder what sort of mother would do otherwise. I am accustomed to my solitude, having outlived most of my wives and husbands and quarreled with the rest, never having had an heiress of my own, and my patience is wearing thin. I have had to send a raven out to search for Mr. Tiger. It is apparently a matter of some urgency. Queen Jareb III. Next letter. Dear Madam, 9 is such a lot of years, isn't it? Nearly a decade. I am willing to reduce my tithe to mere 7 years at no small cost to myself. The changing the terms of a contract is a terrible expense, particularly in these degenerate days where even queens are reduced to ransoming children for few meager years' worth of power. In light of Miss Connelly's long stay, I have waived the usual contractual obligations surrounding the consumption of fairy food. She has eaten well in her time at the night court until this morning, when I gave her nectar in a cup that was apparently insufficiently purple and instigated an entire disproportionate response. I was forced to offer her a quite extravagant number of witch cakes to recompense. My attendant still had not returned with the elusive Mr. Tiger. Queen Jareb III. They got the kidnapper questioning their morals. Redemption arc? Question mark. Says his name thrice in a mirror. What does Biggie Smalls? I was honestly thinking Beetlejuice, but I guess Bloody Mary is also someone you chant. More so looking in a mirror, you chant Bloody Mary. Next letter. Dear Madam, perhaps you are not a mortal mother after all, but an ancient enemy seeking to destroy me by unleashing your hellspawn in my court. The witch cakes had some unforeseen effects on Miss Connelly. Flight, invisibility, minor prophecy, etc., etc. She escaped my attendance and went rollicking through the Black Realms for several hours, during which time she perpetrated unspeakable acts against the pixies and instigated border war with the trolls. She is sleeping now, although still slightly translucent and hovering several inches above the bed. I mean, that's just normal. That's normal. Oh god, Candyman too, that's another one. Oh god, I lost my place. Hold up. Give me a second. That's the wrong word. Innocence implies the existence of sin. And we don't believe in sin down here. I mean, she looks small and frail, but somehow infinite. Like a rosebud or an apple seed, something with 10,000 futures neatly folded inside. I suppose she is a child not of an ancient, of my ancient enemies after all, but merely a child. I wouldn't know, and I never had. In consideration of Caroline's temperament and your own, I'm sure considerable distress, I'm prepared to waive the tithe altogether. Psst, 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 psst. Next letter. You don't think levitating is normal? I love to levitate. It's a good pastime. Alright, next letter. Madam, I couldn't sleep last night. What, I wondered, could prevent a mother from claiming her daughter? I sent my spiders to investigate. They found you lying on top of an unmade bed, awake, wearing a blue apron with "How may I help you?" embroidered in yellow threads across the chest. Your lips were chapped and bitten, your hair unwashed. You clutched a stuffed tiger tight in your right hand, as if it was precious. They found a number of curious objects scattered across your floor. Bills with red lettering, a purple cup with an entirely inaccurate depiction of a unicorn on its side, a tattered-looking pamphlet featuring a manically happy woman holding a placid baby beneath the words, "Beating the baby blues." Oh. But no curses or demons. No implements or injuries. Nothing at all preventing you from calling me. I confess, I cannot imagine the good fortune of having a child like Caroline. Wait, am I saying it's Coraline? Oh my god, I'm so sorry. It's Coraline. Sweet Caroline. Bum, bum, bum. Okay, Coraline. Canny as a crow and twice as wild. Imperious, unmanageable, stubborn as stones. All the qualities, in short, which I would have hoped to find in my own heir. Only to abandon her. I wish I believed in sin, so I would have a name for such wicked wastefulness. Perhaps it would be better if you did not speak my name. Perhaps it would be better for Coraline to remain with the woman who took her, rather than the woman who let her go. Queen Jeff III, Empress of the Black Realms. Next letter. Dear Miss Connelly, I owe you an explanation. I've tried centuries to have a child of my own. Those things which are rare in this world, witching and wish-granting alchemy and augury, are common here. But what is easy for your kind, birth, death, democracy, is quite difficult for mine. I squandered all of my power on it, and it wasn't enough. Now I spend my days scheming and pilfering, stealing mortal children and pretending, for an hour or two, that they are mine. Sperry? To think you would forsake the very thing I wanted so badly. I'm afraid I lost my temper. I should not judge you so harshly. I should know better than anyone. We do not all get to choose whether or not we are mothers. But now you do. Whether you decide, you should know that she still asks for you. She has forgotten so much of the world above, as mortals tend to do, but not you. I suspect that even if she spends eternity in the night court, she will still pause, sometimes and frown, and if she has misplaced something as if she misplaced something dear for her. It was the seventh night. It is the seventh night. But when the moon sets, the time is choosing will be over. Until then, if you call, I must answer. Jareth. Dear Miss Connelly, I have convinced myself that you wouldn't do it. I had begun to believe I would wake to find Corey's burden-esque curls still beside me, but you called my name 3 times in a voice like dust and heartache. Even though you are young and alone and tired, even though you were poor and it cost you so dearly, because you love her more than you love yourself. You called and I came, and Coraline leapt from my arms so fast I didn't have time to say goodbye or to consider of not letting her go. Would I have done it? Would I have used the last of my power to break our contract? Perhaps I too love her more than I love myself. I wish you hadn't called. I'm glad you did. Perhaps you can call again, now and then. There was a moment just before I vanished when she looked at me, something fervent and fear in her eyes, something precious. Well, I would not want her to forget me. J. And we are on the final letter. My dear Constance, I never thought I would hear you so soon. I'm touched that Coraline would launch such a drastic and effective campaign on my behalf, and unspeakable grateful for the solution you proposed. I have drawn up a new contract, not the first of its kind, but perhaps the first on such agreeable terms, outlining everything we discussed. Shared custody, except for Christmas and Beltane. Joint expenses, and etc. When she comes to age, she may either inherit the Black Realms as my lawful heir, or pursue her undergraduate degree, an expense I will, of course, defray, although you should raise the issue with your local ministers, as it seems not good. Should you find the terms to your liking, tell Coraline to eat the enclosed 6 pomegranate pipes. Expect me at midnight on the next equinox. J. P.S. I would be obliged if you packed the purple cup in Mr. Tiger next time. The end. Oh, this is the story that I read was one that was suggested to me. Since you missed it, it's called The Ransom of Miss Coraline Connelly, and it is a collection of letters with a very happy ending. It was about a queen from the underrealm who takes a kid, holds him for ransom, and with the promise of taking 9 years of the mother's life, but instead questioned her morals, found herself like really loving this child, and now joined custody. And she, reading in on some of the mother's past in here, it seemed like she was postpartum, and there was mention of her financial state too. So, happy ending, happy ending. We got one where we finally got a story that didn't involve a wolf dying gruesomely. Become queen of the underworld or get an education, the choice seems obvious. You're right, you're right. Okay, we're closing in on the last 2 stories. Alright, and this is a story I really liked as a little kid. I had a really pretty storybook of it. It's called The Owl and the Cat. I don't know if anyone here has ever heard of that story, but I have fond memories of it. Alright. The owl, it's me. The cat may beguile me. We will see. I don't think Gami would agree with this story. We'll be like, we're gonna change it. We'll be like, we're bros. Fist bump. Is it Loon? Oh, my boy Loon. Speaking of Loon, do you guys want to know something with Loon? So, I always have to put my ASMR mic up after every stream, and I have to put it up high because Loon likes to eat the pop filters. He loves to eat them, and I can't have that. This boy will he'll just eat them up. And he will also knock down the mic afterwards when he tries to yoink them out. So I have to put up my mics every time after an ASMR stream because of him. The question is, does he want, like, with him like chewing on this and all and so forth and knocking it down, does that mean like the 2 interpretations I have is either he wants to do ASMR or he hates it? It can go in 2 directions, like little teeth chomping, like cat eating ASMR, cat eating mic ASMR, and then knocks you down. How many has he eaten before? Technically, he's only gotten 2. He hasn't eaten them whole. It's just that there's a clear indication where he, like, took a good bite out of it. And we're trying really hard to find a way to make him not eat things he's not supposed to. But yes, and also some future planned ASMRs I want to do, especially if it's days where Tater is up as well, which is my other pet. Well, he's not my pet, but I do watch him. I'm the alpha. I am Alpha Owl. I like doing ASMR streams where I read bedtime stories for my pets that are all animal themed. I will say last time I attempted it, they were having zoomies, but unlike with the sleep peeps, I won't punch them. I'll punch you guys if you get the zoomies during ASMR, but not my pets, no. Nutrients. The alpha. Sounds good, Well, we got a Alright, okay, you got zoomies? Okay, alright, yeah. I did. Let me see if I need to. Alright. Rise, this is. I'm coming for you, I'm coming through you. Beat you up. ASMR owl beats you up in your dreams for having zoomies. How many times? This is the second time I beat you guys up during my first ASMR stream. This is going great. The SCP Foundation will hear if any acts of violence are noticed. Just watched your action. Oy, 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 oy. I am on my best behavior. I don't know what you mean. Best behavior. I am going to have a little sip before we start the next story. Alright, and once again, me too. This time I just need lip oil. Ooh. I accidentally hit the soju bottle. Do you guys like the mouth popping? I forgot if I saw the answers to it, but do you guys like mouth popping ASMR like that? Or like clicks? Yes, yes. Poppin' owl. I need to get a poppin' owl emote where I just. The sound tickles your brain. Like a cat? Like the poppin' cat, yeah. Poppin' cat, but I'm a poppin' owl. Then we got the. It's also a planned ASMR stream. Is what if I just did my stems and then just other little trickling noises like the popping and the things like that. You like any ASMR if it comes from your favorite house. You like the beating up ASMR, I see. You like the violent ones. Yeah, definitely make popping noises. Oh, I haven't noticed if usually all the emotes, the standard emotes, should be on mobile. That's a bit odd. Alright, on to the story. The Owl and the Cat. It could be me and Gaomi, it could be me and Loon, it could just be me with any cat tuber. Let's see. Let's ball. Sometimes a girl needs the zoomies speed out of her, you know. Okay, well, bet. Well, I'll do that sometime. Okay, I'll do that. I'll give you a nice little bunk. Little. All right. Okay. Once upon a time, in a land far away, lived an owl and a cat who were best friends. Thank you. Have a good night. Have a very good night. Or day, whatever time zone it is. Once upon a time, in a land far away, lived an owl and a cat who were the best of friends. They shared the most curious and fantastic adventures and dreamt of exploring the worlds together. One day, they decided to embark on a great adventure across the sea. Setting off in a beautiful pea-green boat. As they sailed away, the owl brought along some honey, and the cat brought plenty of money, all wrapped up in a 5-pound note. They were so excited for the journey ahead. As the night fell, the owl looked up at the twinkling stars. Oh my god, my lord. And serenaded the cat with a song, playing their small guitar. Oh, lovely cat, oh cat of my love, what a beautiful cat you are. You are, you are. What a beautiful cat you are. The cat blushed and replied, You elegant fowl, how charmingly sweet you sing. Oh, let us be married. Too long we have tarried. But what shall we do for the ring? Marriage. Determined to find a ring, they sailed away for a year and a half, or for a year and a day, to the land where the palm trees grow. There they discovered a mysterious wood and met a curious creature, a piggy-wig, who had a ring at the end of his nose. Dear pig, are you willing to sell for 1 shilling your ring? They asked. The piggy-wig nodded and said, I will. They took the ring and were married the very next day by the turkey who lived on a nearby hill. Dang, who am I marrying? Who did I marry? Their wedding feast was a joyous occasion, with mince and slice of quince, which they ate with a runcible spoon. As the sun began to set, the newlyweds took each other's hands and stepped onto the edge of the sand. There, under the enchanting light of the moon, they danced and danced, celebrating their love and the magical adventure they shared. They danced by the light of the moon, the moon, the moon. They danced by the light of the moon. And so, the owl and the cat, bound by love and friendship, continued their adventures together, hand in hand, hearts entwined, dancing under the moonlight forever and always. The end. Dang, who did I marry? Who did I marry? Who am I marrying and dancing with? I'm curious. Okay, but we do have one final story. Let me double check something really quickly before we... Okay. So I'm gonna ask if we raid, are you guys fine raiding into a non-ASMR stream? Because I already said one. We're gonna go from ASMR back to Minecraft. Alright, but we do have one story left. Are you guys ready for it? This one you can finally get that full REM sleep. The melatonin is hitting. It's fine? Good. One lucky cat. Okay, I'm glad. I know sometimes it can be finicky when you do ASMR and then you raid into another stream and people get quite jump scared. So I just wanted to make sure it was okay with you guys. I'm glad. We gotta support my wife. You know what? She may be a sea bunny, but that is my wife. Yui is my wife. That is my wife. My cute strawberry wife. I love Yui so much. I love her. I want to give her so many hugs and forehead kisses. The ring is already on her finger. Okay. Final story. Which someone guessed correctly at the beginning of the stream, but I didn't want to spoil it. Which is go the fuck to sleep. Are you guys ready for the final story? Are you ready to go the fuck to sleep? Because if you don't, then how can I visit you guys? Here we go. I see someone cozy in bed. Thank you, Sel, for being cozy in bed. Alright, here we go. Final story. Cool story name. It was written by Adam Mansbach? I'm assuming that's it. And this is famously recited by Samuel L. Jackson, so it's just a classic. My favorite bedtime story. Good. So hopefully this will make you have wonderful dreams. So good. Alright. Let's start. The cat nestles close to her kittens. The lambs have laid down with their sheep. You are cozy and warm in your bed, my dear. Please go the fuck to sleep. The windows are dark in the town, child. The whales huddle down in the deep. I'll read you one last story if you swear. You'll go the fuck to sleep. The eagles who soar through the sky are at rest, and the creatures who crawl, run, and creep. I know you're not thirsty. That's bullshit. Stop lying. Lie the fuck down, Anna, my darling, and sleep. The winds whisper soft through the grass, hun. The field mice, they make not a peep. It's been 38 minutes already. Jesus, what the fuck? Go to sleep. All the kids from the daycare are in dreamland. Froggy has made his last leap. Hell no, you can't go to the bathroom. You know where you can go? The fuck to sleep. The owls fly forth on the treetops. Through the air they soar and they sweep. The hot crimson rage fills my heart, love, for real. Shut the fuck up and sleep. The cubs and the lions are snoring, wrapped in a big sleepy heap. How come you can do all this other great shit, but you can't lie the fuck down and sleep? The seeds slumber beneath the earth now, and the crops that the farmers will reap. No more questions. The interview's over. I've got 2 words for you, kid. Fucking sleep. tiger reclines in the Siberian jungle. The sparrow has silenced her cheep. Fuck your stuffed bear. I ain't giving you shit. Close your eyes. Cut the crap. Sleep. Flowers still low in the meadows, and high on the mountain so steep. My life is a failure. I'm a shitty ass parent. Stop fucking with me, please, and sleep. The giant pangolins of Madagascar are snoozing as I lie here and openly weep. Sure, fine, whatever. I'll bring you some milk. Who the fuck cares? You're not gonna sleep. The room is all I can remember. The furniture crappy and cheap. You win. You escape. You run down the hall as I nod the fuck off and sleep. Blurry and dazed, I awaken to find your eyes shut. So I keep my fingers crossed tight as I tiptoe away and pray that you are fucking sleeping. We're finally watching our movie. Popcorn's in the microwave. Beep. Oh shit. God damn it. You've got to be kidding. Go the fuck to sleep. The end. The end. Are you guys gonna go to sleep now? Because if you don't go the fuck to sleep, how can I visit you guys in your dreams? Alright. Make sure Yui is still streaming. Alright, we're gonna head over to Yui's channel, and also let me quickly mention my schedule this week. We do have a Q&A tomorrow, so we have a Maru set up. If you would like to answer some nice little questions, I don't know if I'll be reading them all, but if you have something you would like to ask, feel free to, because we're gonna be answering marshmallows while drinking some Hooten hot chocolate with Maru's. Oh wait, that's on Tuesday. Tomorrow we have Infinity Nikki, which I'm very excited to play. I've been seeing so many play it and it looks super cute. Wednesday we are going to be continuing Melatonin, and I was wondering what would happen if I actually take a melatonin gummy before I play the game. Friday and Saturday I won't be there, but Stellarverse Production are guests at Holiday Matsuri, so if you were going there, we will have a panel at Oshi Oasis at 12:30, and on Saturday, on the 21st, I am hosting my first meet and greet. I'm so excited, which is going to be at 11:30 a.m. and we're going to have another ASMR stream, but we're going to be switching it up with a ASMR karaoke, so full of soft singing and whispering. It's also going to be my first vertical stream, so yeah. And Sunday will be Rina Rambles Satsu, where I'm going to be talking about Homat, and hopefully I will be getting some pictures. We're going to set up a hashtag, so for anyone who is at Homat, we'll have the hashtag ready to go, so I can use these lovely pictures for scrapbooking in the future for my dream journal. So yes. Alright, so that's really it. I hope you enjoyed my first ASMR stream with you guys, and as mentioned, expect more in the future. So yes, you guys go the fuck to sleep, but also let's go see Miss Yui. Send her some love, okay? Alright. Sleep tight and sleepy. Sleep. I messed it up. Sleep tight and sweet dreams, my sleepy.